given that the government's told students to stay at home and they can't live in these rentals and they're not getting the money back from landlords? Are you going to cover that cost?
So I think I'm being quite clear. We're not covering that cost. That's not what I'm announcing today.
Why are you not covering that cost? Why should students that you've ordered to stay at home, why should they not have their rental costs covered?
So this is something that we're definitely keeping under review. We're monitoring the situation.
What does that mean, under review? Everybody knows everyone knows the situation's been like this for months. What are you reviewing exactly?
But our priority at the moment is getting money out the door into the pockets of students that are facing hardship. And that is what we're focusing on.
But if students are paying out to private landlords who are not sympathetic and giving rebates, and frankly, I can understand private landlords, have their own commercial considerations, then they are obviously struggling, feeding back that information to you and wanting help.
Yeah, so in that scenario, they can go to their university, access this hardship funding.
But you said it won't cover private rent.
Why should any student have to... Just opinion on this. Why should any student, regardless of financial circumstances, why should any student have to pay for accommodation costs if they're not allowed to go and stay in the accommodation? It's the same principle as the furlough system, isn't it? You're paying all these people who can't go to their place of work because of the rules. You're paying them to go home. Why are you not just covering the costs of all students, frankly? And the other thing I would say is, just from my own experience of my son, who's desperate to have normal university life and isn't having it, like every other student, is they're clearly not getting anything like the value for money that the universities are charging. But the universities, to my knowledge, I don't think any of them are offering any kind of refund to people, to parents or students, for the costs of their tuition. But they could save thousands, these kids, by just enrolling for an online course. That's all they're getting.
They'd save $3,000
My son
if they
only
went to the Open University.
Only gets online tuition. Now, he represents every student in the country. Most of them are getting a very undervalued education, and yet they're all paying 100% of what they would have been in a non-pandemic era.